Guys, channel, please do like and subscribe for more Q&A testing content, right? So this help me, to create content on daily basis and the content as well, right? So let's start with today's video. So writing a test case is one of the most important skill like a QA engineer, right? But today we have a AI tool like ChatGPT, Gemini that can generate the test cases in seconds. So the question is like, can AI actually write better test cases than a human or QA engineer, right? So in this video, I'm going to test that by comparing the AI generated test cases with the real QA testing, right? So normally when QA engineer tests an application, they analyze the requirement, understand the user behavior, and then write detailed test cases. So this process can take hours or sometime even many days as well, depending on the complexity of the requirement and the system. But AI tools can generate test cases instantly. So today we will run small experiment. I'll ask AI to write test cases for a login page, and then we will compare with the human QA engineer how normally write the test cases. Okay, so let's start with the AI. I'll go to the Gemini, right? I'll go to ChatGPT here, and I will ask ChatGPT to write test cases for a current e-commerce website login page. Okay, so I'm just giving it it's a context and a complete prompt. So it should work as a QA engineer first, right? Act as a QA engineer and generate test cases for an e-commerce or an e-commerce login page. Okay, so I'm going to give this and let's see what AI will give us. So AI within a few seconds, AI generated a number of test cases. You can see they are the functional test cases for the login page. We have a verify uh, user login button functionality, enter keys, password. Also, these are giving some steps as well along with the test data and expected behavior of that test cases. Right, right. So we have a redirect successful. We have forget password, remember checkbox, etc. We have a following test cases. Also, it generates the test cases with the negative use cases as well. So these are functional use cases and negative use cases we can use to test and identify the bugs in the system. So it creates 18 test cases as a negative. It also creates test cases for the security testing. We have a different vulnerabilities in the application. So we need to identify those how they are working. Yes. So we have SQL injection test, cross-site scripting, brute force attempts. They are the different tools we can use to identify those test cases as well. Also, it gives us a UI usability test case. How should the UI looks like? If there is any possible bugs in the UI, we can identify with the following use cases. Also, it generates some edge cases and boundary test cases as well for the login page scenario, like uppercase, small case, if we have multiple sessions, etc. And you can see it as like you can generate something else as well, right? So we have a number of test cases. Now let's look like how the human work. If uh, I show you, this is how the AI generated test cases, right? Now, AI generated test cases we have uh, shown to you, right? Now, let's talk about the human QA approach. So, how the human QA engineer thinks while testing a login page. So, experienced tester don't just start with the normal use case. They think about the edge cases, security, and real user behavior. For example, functionality we have a valid login, invalid login, empty fields. For the edge cases, you can say the very long inputs, special characters, multiple login fields, multiple sessions, SQL injection that I just shown you. ChatGPT also give us all the use cases for security testing, brute force attack, session management, etc. Right. So the normal Q engineer also in the same way. We have a session down, timeout, browser compatibility, cross-browser testing, API authentication failure, etc. Right. So let's compare like how AI or human QA behaves in case of this test cases approach, right? So if you were to talk about there are certain factors in AI and human QA comparison. So speed, AI is much faster than a human, right? If you are casing the basic scenario, both are good. Edge cases, you can say AI is a bit limited. Human is also a bit limited because we can think in a particular way, but AI also can, have to analyze uh, the edge cases. Security thinking, you can say AI have a limited because and human has a vast or advanced security thinking to test to break the application a different way. If we give the context, so human have high context about the application because he sit in all those meetings where all the functionality requirement discussion with the different stakeholders, etc. So they have an idea how the system behave backend, front end, etc. Correct. So if we are talking about the context understanding, so that is obviously humans have the higher advantage here. So if you're talking about the whole use case, so AI is good at generating the standard test cases and they can generate it quickly, far faster, far better than the human can do. But experienced QA still engineer perform better when it comes to the complex business logic, real user experience, etc. Right. So here's my take here from like instead of replacing QA engineer, AI can help to make tester more productive. Right. We can generate initial test cases, we can generate initial test cases and suggest edge cases, automation script, analysis script. So these we can Q engineer can use AI for these, so that can save a huge amount of time here, right? So the combination of AI plus human expertise can make testing faster and more accurate, you can say, and we can save more time as well. So the AI can write test cases better than humans, not really, at least not yet, but AI can definitely assist QA to improve the productivity and future of testing is probably AI replacing tester, but AI working alongside with testers. So AI alone cannot replace the QA engineer, right? The person who is using AI to improve the productivity and all those things that can definitely replace QA engineer. So what do you think about this? Like, will AI replace QA engineer or will it become more powerful than the testing the tools? So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Right, let me know your thoughts. And before going out, just please do like, subscribe my channel as well. So for more videos coming up now in coming days. So I'm going to do a live demo session as well directly for the different testing like API automation, JMeter, K6, and Docker as well. So we'll work on that as well. Thank you guys. Please subscribe and like.